Good morning. Here we are in the Wagoneer on its first, what I would consider, overlanding trip from East Lansing to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Today we are traveling from East Lansing to Traverse City and don't really have a plan, but I intended it that way. So we've got my bike on the back. We've got the iKamper on top for the first time. It's taken a while for all of this to come together. Had the camper on the other vehicle, just transferred it before this trip, and I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of exciting not having a plan. We'll make it up as we go along. Looking forward to the trip. I do have one reservation for this trip, which is Friday and Saturday night. Today's Thursday, and the reservations are for Hurricane River on the Upper Peninsula, so I'll explore around there for those couple of days, but looking forward to seeing what I can get into. A little slow going on Route 115 to Cadillac and Lake City on my way to Traverse City, but beautiful country back here. It's just kind of back country in Upper Michigan. Not quite Upper Michigan yet, I guess, but so far, so good. Rolled into Traverse City with relative ease. A little bit of traffic and construction, but that wasn't too bad. I was able to find the parking place downtown pretty quickly, which was pretty convenient because I was able to walk to the open space park, which they were preparing for a concert right here on the water. It was really pretty walking around that day. I think it was about 70 or so degrees, so I enjoyed that. And of course, I couldn't miss having a Petosky Pretzel before I left town. All right, we made it to Traverse City and we have a plan. So pulled into town and there was literally a brewery every block, it seems. So Identity Brewing, cool. I was able to book Anchor Inn for the night, one night, before we head up to Hurricane River Campground. So we're gonna bike the Greenway rail to trail tomorrow or tonight. We'll see how it goes, but we have a plan. Hats off to the Anchor Inn for upgrading me to this 2-bedroom kitchen cottage. It's really nice. I booked a 1-bedroom and they upgraded me to this, so no complaints here. Yes, my bike is in here. Kitchen, suite, bathroom, shower, and another bedroom, which I don't need, but it's really sweet. Well, it pays to come off-season places because I just got upgraded to a 2-bedroom kitchen cottage here at the Anchor Inn. It's unbelievable. Really affordable pricing. Of course, it's off-season, but they've got a private little beach here, dock, kayaks, fire pit. It's a very cool place to hang out. I spent 30 minutes or so just walking around the property to see what they had to offer. The beach was a really nice spot to hang out. They had 2 campfire spots, one up by the cottages, another one on the beach, and it was such a nice night, I decided to get my bike ready and go hit the Greenway. Made it out to the point. It's beautiful out here. About 16 miles out, 16 miles back, a little bit longer than I expected, but very cool out here. I'd do this again. Well, I slept really good last night, and this morning we're out here at sunrise, just having my coffee. It is beautiful this morning out here on Lake Michigan. Nobody's really up yet, so I'm enjoying the quiet time except for all the traffic on the road up there. Well, what's on the agenda for today? We are driving from Traverse City to Hurricane River. GPS suggests that it's a 4-hour drive, so we're going to take our time, head across the Mackinaw Bridge, probably stop there and take a few photos, but coffee time's almost over, so let's hit it. Okay, that's weird. For some reason my iPhone wouldn't play the video. Now it's back. We are about to hit a milestone, 9,933 miles, about to hit 10,000 miles on the Wagoneer. We have made it to Hurricane River Lower Campground. Pretty quiet here. I think it's going to be really quiet tonight, especially since it's right next to the lake. My campground is right down here, number 4, lower. You can see the Wagoneer back here. All right, I think I'm fairly level, so let's get set up here for the night. Time to pull out the iKamper. This is my setup for car camping. Wagoneer L. I've got the SkyCamp 3.0 Mini. At least I think that's what it is. Very spacious. I've got the Track Slash for the trail adventures. Been loving this vehicle. But we can show you the interior of this. It's pretty big. I'm 5'10" and I fit in here just fine. Any bigger than that, it would slightly be an issue. the SkyCamp 3.0 is, because it is thundering and about to rain. I've got all my awnings out, so we can test it. I prefer not to. I was hoping for a nice calm night, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it. Well, it is absolutely pouring, and I have to say, the SkyCamp is rocking it. This works way better than a traditional tent, in my opinion, because it is pouring, and I can't even tell it anymore. This thing works really good. Thank goodness. Because otherwise I'd be getting soaked. Alright, the thunder and lightning have been kind of cool. Except for this sack of water. Nobody wants this sack of water. After a rainy evening, it's a beautiful, cool morning. Got up early so I could do a 7-mile hike. Off we go. Supposedly there's some shipwrecks up here. There's nobody out this morning. I'm up really early. The best way to do it. A lot of water runoff from the rains last night. So we'll see what we can find up here. Feels like it's in the 60s this morning. It's a little cool. I have a jacket on, but it was 80 yesterday, so it should warm up quite nice. Where are the shipwrecks? I think this is it up here with all those things sticking up. But we will know shortly. These lakes are amazing. You feel like you're at the ocean, but there's no tides. I hate tides. Yeah, shipwreck. Let's go check it out. Okay, I'm guessing this is a shipwreck of an old wooden boat, but it makes no sense to me. Although if you look further in here, there's a larger structure, so somehow this was all connected into a larger boat system thing, and for whatever reason they crashed here. There's a lighthouse probably another mile down the shoreline, and apparently the old boats like to follow the shoreline, and some of them screwed up. This is one of them. Very cool. Well, I kind of feel like I'm walking at the beach, although way more rocks, and there's no tide. It's like this all the time. Just visited all the shipwrecks, and I'm hoping there's another way to get up to the trail down here. Otherwise I have to walk back pretty far. But it's so nice out that I thought I would just walk the shoreline of Lake Superior and enjoy the view. Alright, I knew if I was patient enough I'd find another access to the trail. This one's a little Sorry, I have to do this vertically. It's the only way I can hold my phone and hike. But it's an old log ladder, which I think I can manage. So far, so good. Although this section, I'm gonna have to use my hands. All right, we got it. Maybe. That was cool. All those old shipwrecks. Oh yeah. Brings you right out to the lighthouse. Very neat. We are making our way to Log Slide. This is why waking up early is worth it. There's nobody else out here. 2 miles. Log Slide. Here we go. You can see the coastline up there. That's pretty. Wish I could bring my bike out here. It would be way faster, but have to respect the rules. So that's what we'll do. We will hike it. I can see a tower way off in the distance. That's where we're headed. Later. There's actually some elevation on this trail. Decent amount. I know it's hard to tell on video, but I wasn't expecting this much of a hill. I guess we're headed up to the cliffs. Out on the coast, it was sunny and at least 5 degrees warmer. Like it was hot. And this back wetland area is a lot cooler and completely in the shade. A lot of differences in the trail here. Most of it's just like 10 feet above the shoreline, which is cool. And then this section is a little bit off the shoreline, back in the wetland. Nice and cool back here. Even on a super hot day, you'd be fine back here. It's August 23rd, and it was 80 degrees yesterday. Much cooler than that today, but I imagine next month into September, the mornings would be very chilly. So I was going to give this trail an easy grade until we got to all this elevation. I mean, it's not terribly difficult, but definitely is a workout. This is pretty cool. This is what they call the log slide. And it's basically a 500-foot total distance, 300-foot incline of sand down to the beach. Nice. There's the lighthouse. Basically looks like you're falling over a cliff here as you walk down. Steep is an understatement. And this is what it looks like going up. Time for a snack, thanks to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. By the way, those Bison jerky bars, those are the bomb. If you haven't had it, get it. Good stuff. All right. Greenway. We are headed to Marquette, or Munising, I think, is the halfway point. May stop there if there's something to do and something to eat. Probably top off on gas, but the road between Hurricane River and Munising is this. Pretty much nothing. As I was entering the Upper Peninsula, I stopped in Mackinaw City to get something to eat at Audi's, I think was the name, a local place there just before the bridge. And this older couple was coming out as I was going in, and they were easily late 80s or 90s. And you could tell they were kind of just struggling to walk out. The hostess that was seating people said, sorry, I'll be right back to seat you. And she grabbed the older woman by the hand and took her out to her car. And then about 5 minutes later, she came back. She said, I'm so sorry, they're moving to a nursing home. And that was my goodbye. And she was pretty emotional about it. And later she stopped by my table and just said these people came into her lives right after her mom passed away, her own mom, and they became something special to her. And she was emotional. It kind of got to me. Once you lose a parent, you kind of understand it's hell getting older and losing somebody like that, and you know, you cherish kind of your parents and your grandparents. Well, these people were being moved to a nursing facility somewhere further south, I forget where she said, by her daughter, and she said they had the money for in-home care and that's what they wanted, but you know, not regretting anyone's decisions here. It just makes you realize that life is short, and she reminded me to hug the ones that you love, and that's very true. Life is short, certainly why I'm out exploring and doing what I'm doing, but I hope that I live to be that age. Neither one of my parents were able to do that. Didn't have the ideal retirement, but these people lived a good life, I'm sure, and you know, now they're on to something else. But it was just sad to see that emotion of the hostess who had kind of become attached to this older couple. And I get it. Life is short. Live it up. Look at this. That's kind of cool. Alright, let's have a proper goodbye to Hurricane River. Cheers. let's do my Upper Peninsula recap. I stayed at Hurricane River Lower Campground number 4 and used that as kind of my base camp for all the activities. Quite a bit of hiking in the area. Right from the lower campground, I went to Au Sable Lighthouse, and then further on from there was the log slide. I think it was a mile and a half to the lighthouse, and then another 2.5 to log slide. All in total, it was about a 7-mile hike from the campground to do log slide and back, which wasn't bad. It was quite a bit of elevation approaching log slide. A little surprising, but. And then on the, that's headed east. Headed west was 12-mile beach, and I hiked about half of that. I went off the trail and onto the beach for a little bit there was like a boardwalk, and then went back from there, but all well marked, easily done. It just was such a nice day that hiking the kind of lakeshore was the best thing to do. But lots of hiking. I was hoping to do a little bit more biking, but a little lack of preparation on my part. There's plenty of biking to do, but where I stayed didn't allow bikes, so if you're planning on biking, probably spend a little bit more time researching where you want to go and then staying near that location. It just wasn't conducive where I was at to do biking, but otherwise it was great. Weather-wise, it's kind of a mixed bag. Like today it's raining while I'm leaving, and I don't think it's uncommon for it to rain like that for portions of the day. It's kind of expected, so you just have to be prepared for a little bit of rain. It's never rained long. In fact, it looks like it'll probably clear up today, but just expect those quick showers to come in if you're camping or hiking.